Breaking news today is that on July 31st, 2025 today, Brent Leatherwood has resigned as the president of the Ethics and Religious Liverty Commission for Southern Baptists. This has been something that has been fought for some time, and there have been a lot of people within the Southern Baptist Convention that have been asking for this. So we're just going to highlight a few things tonight, not going to try to recap all of the things that have occurred or happened over the last few, actually the last couple of years in this process. A lot of changes that have happened and a lot of positions that have been taken by the ERLC during Leatherwood's tenure of right at 4 years. And then before that, Russell Moore. So let's hit just a couple of those things and talk about that just a little bit as we talk about some of the changes that have taken place and the reason why this is so important to take place. So the question we're going to ask is, are we going to get reform, or are we just going to get a repeat of what we already had? For many within the Southern Baptist Convention, they saw Leatherwood as being one who came in under the umbrella of Russell Moore and basically just continued on some of the very unhealthy positions and policies, some of the approaches that had taken place. Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission has had some good things that have happened and has taken some stands on some things over the years. And I shouldn't just say years, over the decades. But the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission, the ERLC, is always a lightning rod. It always has been, probably always will be, as long as it exists. But there are several things that have happened in the last couple of years, so let's highlight that real quickly. The resignation for many is overdue because many Southern Baptist leaders in churches, pastors in churches, feel like for there to be adequate reform for the ERLC to stand for Southern Baptists and what Southern Baptists stand for effectively, that there had to be some type of a change in leadership. Nearly 40 to 45% of the SBC messengers have voted to abolish the ERLC in recent years. Now, understand, ever since the ERLC and before that Christian Life Commission have existed many years during its tenure, there have been those who have opposed positions. Anytime you're dealing with ethics, things of that sort related to public policy, there's always going to be some disagreement. But it seems like the temperature of that has been raised to such a high level that 40 to 45% of messengers have voted to abolish it. Of course, it required 2/3 to be able to abolish the entity, and that had to be done in 2 consecutive messenger votes in 2 consecutive annual meetings. Now, what are the criticisms that have surfaced? Now, we're not going to have time to go into all of them, but let's highlight just a few of them. Moderation on abortion versus abolitionists, the approach to that, and some of the positions that the ERLC has taken under Leatherwood's leadership. In some cases, their position has been used to defeat pro-life action in a variety of states. And you can research that and see some of those actions. Their alignment with progressive lawmakers rather than lining up with conservative lawmakers has been an issue. Opposition to immigration restrictions has been an issue. Support for gun control laws has been an issue, particularly in the Covenant shooting that happened at the Covenant School in Tennessee. This rose up as a big issue at that point. Personal agendas of Leatherwood versus clear SBC agendas through resolutions and the like. And so those are just some of the criticisms. Now, one person that has done a lot of research on this is Meg Basham, reporter for Daily Wire. And she wrote this book called, whoops, I'm grabbing all my paper too, The Shepherds for Sale. I picked it up just to show you this. These are all the pages in this book that are the footnotes and documentation. And the book is not exclusively about the ERLC, but a large portion of it is focused upon the progressive agendas that have aligned with the ERLC, funding that has come from source organizations and other types of more progressive or liberal, you might say, political agendas that have plugged into the ERLC, the immigration table that has been there, a lot of other things, but she documents that very well. And if you have not read that book, I would encourage you to get that and to take a look at it. In addition, the leadership style seems like it's just been a continuation of the Russell Moore era. The policies that he had, there is one positive thing. I put a link in the video description of a couple of articles that have covered this during the day today. And some of that recounts the letter that Brent presented to the trustee board today as they met. And he took the high road. And I have to commend him for doing that. Nobody wants to lose their job. But Russell Moore, when he left, he sought to destroy the Southern Baptist Convention, or at least so it appeared, and threw out all kinds of accusations, stirred up all of the abuse situation that we've fought with and all the legal issues with that. He threw a bunch of things out there that have now been disproven. It led to a DOJ investigation of the Southern Baptist Convention's executive committee. A lot of other things. All of those things have been disproven now. But he basically threw the SBC under the bus. So I commend Leatherwood for not doing that. However, during his 4-year tenure, he has seemed to continue to carry on the same type of policies that Moore had during that time. Organizationally, the ERLC has been inefficient with minimal leadership visibility and engagement, except for 45, 60, maybe 90 days right before the annual meeting in June, the last couple of years. And then there's a barrage of media, a barrage of things that are going out to try to kind of have a PR campaign about, look at all the things we're doing. And according to many, they feel like oftentimes the ERLC has just latched onto the coattails of some other organization that is actually doing something. They've signed on to an amicus brief or something of that sort, that they haven't really been the ones on Capitol Hill that have been advocating for whatever those policies may have been. And so there's been a real concern about that, and that the leadership has not been visible except apparently as a PR campaign. The trustee structure was seen as ineffective in holding the leadership accountable, and oftentimes felt like they just were serving as yes men. I say men, but they're men and women on the board. But that seems to have been a real issue and a real problem, and many have called into question the trustee process in not holding the leadership accountable at the ERLC. Calls now for a new president, or they need a new president now that's rooted in clear biblical fidelity and cultural courage, somebody who will stand on biblical principles and advocate for the things the messengers have advocated for as a Southern Baptist Convention as well. Now, what is the ministry assignment for the ERLC, so that we're clear? Let's just look at it real quickly. The ERLC ministry assignment says the ERLC exists to assist Southern Baptist churches by helping them understand the moral demands of the gospel, apply Christian principles to moral and social problems and questions of public policy, and promote religious liberty in cooperation with churches and other Southern Baptist entities. On many cases, this is where many Southern Baptists have felt that the ERLC has fallen short and has not continued to carry out their ministry assignment at that point. So what needs to be looked for in a successor to Brent Leatherwood as the next president of the ERLC? Let me just highlight a couple of things, and there are a lot of things that people are discussing and throwing out there, but let me just give you a few that I want to note. First, they need to really prioritize rebuilding trust. Rebuilding trust. That's going to mean boots on the ground, being out there with churches, building the trust among the large swath of pastors in both the large churches, but also the many normal sized churches, that the churches that are just of average size for Southern Baptists. The majority of our churches are under 150, 125. Many of them are under 175. So they've got to find a way to really build that trust or rebuild that trust. Be committed to theological clarity without any doubt. SBC alignment with the things the messengers have already presented, and not veering outside of that, not taking stands and trying to advocate for things that the messengers have not declared. Very, very important to not go beyond what the messengers have given them, particularly in that ministry statement we just noticed there. And then to be able to stand with cultural courage. Very important to stand with cultural courage. So these are some of the things that the ERLC is going to need to be looking for in a new president, as they look for somebody to be able to lead the Southern Baptist Convention's Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission. There are many who still would like to just get rid of it, but if there is going to be reform, it cannot be just a repeat of what we've had over the last two presidents' tenure. It's got to redirect. There's got to be a rebuilding of trust. There's got to be a focus on connecting with the local churches and helping local churches see how they can stand and be able to be successful in their local communities, and be able to be successful in what they're doing in their churches, to be able to confront all the things that are happening socially and politically in their community. Well, we'll try to keep you up to date on other things as they happen. Thank you for joining me tonight. We'll keep you posted as we can. As we find out anything more on this, we'll try to update you as well.